Right now, beneath your skin, billions of tiny, intelligent cells are waiting for your next move. These cells are called adipocytes, and they are far more powerful than anyone ever told you. Most people think fat cells are just lazy blobs sitting there doing absolutely nothing useful. But the truth is, fat cells are active, communicative, hormone-producing organs running 24 hours a day. They listen to every signal your body sends, every single minute of every single day. And the moment you stand up and start walking, everything inside those cells begins to change. Within minutes, not weeks or months, your fat cells start behaving in ways that seem almost miraculous. A cascade of molecular events fires off that most doctors never sit down and explain to you. Understanding this timeline will completely change how you think about your body and your daily walk. So stay with me, because what unfolds inside you during a 30-minute walk is extraordinary. Before the timeline, you need to understand what fat cells actually are at the biological level. Your body contains somewhere between 30 to 40 billion fat cells at any given time. Each one is not a dumb storage container, but a metabolically active, hormone-producing endocrine organ. Inside every fat cell, energy is locked away in tightly bound molecules called triglycerides. Triglycerides are triple-bonded fatty acid molecules that cannot simply float out of the cell on their own. To release that stored energy, your body must break those bonds through a process called lipolysis. Lipolysis literally means the breaking down of lipids, and it requires very specific biological conditions to begin properly. It needs the right hormones, the right enzymes, and the right internal environment to fire up properly. Here is something that will shift your entire perspective on fat and how your body works. Your fat cells are not your enemy. They have actually been quietly protecting you this entire time. When you eat more than your body needs, fat cells expand and capture the excess energy safely. They prevent those excess fats from circulating freely in your bloodstream, where they could damage your organs. It is a brilliant, ancient survival mechanism your body developed over hundreds of thousands of years. But when fat cells become overfilled and stretched beyond capacity, they begin sending out distress signals. Those distress signals come in the form of inflammatory molecules that quietly damage your metabolic health. That is when insulin resistance, cardiovascular issues, and chronic inflammation begin creeping into your daily life. Now, imagine you start walking 30 minutes every single day with real intention behind it. What changes is not just the number you see when you step onto the scale each morning. What truly changes is the behavior, the responsiveness, and the intelligence of those 30 billion fat cells. They shift from a state of chronic storage into a state of dynamic, flexible metabolic balance. A 2023 study in the Journal of Health, Population, and Nutrition confirmed this with real measurable data. Regular walking significantly improved lipid profiles and reduced dangerous visceral fat in participants within just 12 weeks. Another study from Physiological Reviews showed that moderate exercise stimulates fat tissue blood flow in real time. This has been happening inside your body without you ever fully realizing or appreciating its power. Once you understand the minute-by-minute timeline, you realize your body is not broken or working against you. Walking is the language your biology understands best, and your body has been waiting for you to speak it. Stage 1. Minutes 0 to 5. The wake-up call. The second you take your first step, your body does not immediately raid your fat stores for fuel. In those first few minutes, your body runs primarily on glucose already circulating in your bloodstream. Glucose is fast, accessible, and ready to burn without any complex biological processes needing to activate first. But something critically important is already beginning deep inside your nervous system and your bloodstream right now. Your heart rate rises, blood flow accelerates, and your body begins releasing adrenaline and noradrenaline immediately. These are stress hormones, but in this context, they are the best kind of stress imaginable. Adrenaline travels through your bloodstream until it finds receptors sitting on the surface of your fat cells. When adrenaline binds to those receptors, it's like a key turning inside a highly secured lock. It activates a powerful enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase, or HSL, which is the gatekeeper of fat release. HSL begins breaking apart the tightly bound triglycerides inside your fat cells into smaller, releasable components. Those components are free fatty acids and glycerol, small enough to escape through the cell membrane freely. But during these first 5 minutes, your fat cells are receiving the signal and not yet fully responding. Think of it like starting a cold car engine on a freezing winter morning before it warms up. Meanwhile, your muscles are gently pulling glucose from your blood and insulin levels begin dropping slightly. That drop in insulin is another powerful message sent directly to your fat cells. It's safe to release. Stage 2, minutes 5 to 15, the release begins. By the 10-minute mark, something truly remarkable and measurable is happening inside your adipose tissue right now. Your fat cells have fully activated lipolysis, and free fatty acids are escaping into your bloodstream steadily. Think of your fat cells as warehouses with a one-way door that walking has now fully unlocked. But unlocking the door is only half the equation, because those fatty acids also need a ride out. Walking dramatically increases blood flow to your adipose tissue, opening up delivery routes throughout your entire body. Studies confirm that during moderate exercise, blood flow to fat tissue increases significantly, accelerating fatty acid release. Your muscles are simultaneously shifting their fuel preference as free fatty acids begin arriving in large numbers. In the first minutes, muscles burned mostly glucose, but now they eagerly begin accepting fatty acids instead. Those fatty acids get shuttled directly into tiny powerhouses inside your muscle cells called mitochondria. Inside the mitochondria, through a process called beta oxidation, fatty acids are converted into ATP energy. ATP is the actual energy currency your body runs on for every movement, thought, and biological process. At this stage, you are in a beautiful metabolic balance between glucose burning and fat burning simultaneously. Your body is learning that it doesn't need to hoard energy because consistent movement means consistent supply. This is also the phase where most people make their biggest and most costly mistake without realizing it. They walk for 10 minutes, feel fine, check their phone, and stop before the real magic begins. Everything they were building toward, the peak fat-burning state, was only minutes away from activating fully. Stage 3, minutes 15 to 30, peak fat-burning and cellular transformation. Welcome to the sweet spot, the phase that separates a casual stroll from genuine metabolic reprogramming. By the 15 to 20-minute mark, your body has fully and completely transitioned into fat-burning mode. Research consistently shows that fat oxidation peaks during moderate intensity exercise at around 45 to 65% VO2. For most people, that intensity level is a brisk walk where you feel slightly breathless but can talk. At this stage, somewhere between 50 to 60% of your energy is coming directly from stored fat. Your fat cells are releasing free fatty acids at a steady, sustained, and highly efficient rate now. Your muscles are burning those fatty acids cleanly, and your mitochondria are working at impressive productive capacity. But something else is happening during this phase that most exercise content never bothers to mention at all. your fat cells are becoming more sensitive and more responsive to future fat-releasing signals with every step. Every walk trains your fat cells to respond faster, deeper, and more efficiently the very next time. You are increasing the number and activity of the enzymes involved in lipolysis at the cellular level. You are improving blood flow to adipose tissue in ways that compound and strengthen over days and weeks. You are even influencing gene expression inside those fat cells, making them more metabolically flexible long-term. Research published in Biomolecules in 2020 confirmed that regular moderate exercise increases fat transport protein expression measurably. Proteins like fatty acid CD36 and fatty acid fine that make fat burning faster, easier, and more automatic with consistent walking. But here is the discovery that genuinely stunned researchers when it first emerged from exercise science labs. During this phase, your muscles secrete a powerful molecule called irisin, sometimes called the exercise hormone. Irisin travels from your working muscles directly to your fat tissue and triggers something almost unbelievable. It encourages white fat cells, which are pure storage fat, to behave like brown fat cells instead. Brown fat is a completely different kind of fat that actually burns energy to generate body heat. This conversion process is scientifically called browning, and it is one of walking's most powerful long-term benefits. Consistent walking does not just burn fat during the walk, it permanently changes how your fat tissue behaves. By the 30-minute mark, glycerol levels in your blood are elevated and insulin is beautifully, productively low. Your body is in active energy flux, and you are not just burning calories, you are rewriting your metabolism. Stage 4. After the walk. The afterburn and long-term adaptation. Here is the part that most people never hear about and would be genuinely thrilled to know. The fat-burning benefits do not stop the moment you stop walking and sit back down to rest. For hours after your walk ends, your body continues burning fat at a meaningfully elevated rate. This is called excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, or EPOC, and it is a real and measurable phenomenon. Your muscles are restocking glycogen, your mitochondria remain highly active, and lipolysis stays elevated for hours. Multiple studies have confirmed that lipolysis remains elevated for up to 24 hours after a single walk. But the most powerful transformation happens when you do this consistently, day after day, week after week. Your fat cells become less resistant to lipolysis and more willing to release their stored contents. Inflammation markers measurably decrease, insulin sensitivity dramatically improves, and your metabolic health transforms at its foundation. Your body begins to understand that movement is the norm, not a rare or occasional surprising event. And here is the beautiful paradox that makes consistent walking so uniquely powerful among all forms of exercise. The more you walk, the smaller your fat cells become, not because they disappear, but because they release. Smaller, healthier fat cells produce beneficial hormones like adiponectin, which actively protects against insulin resistance and inflammation. A 2023 study confirmed that 12 weeks of consistent 30 to 40-minute walks reduced visceral fat significantly. HDL cholesterol improved, inflammatory markers dropped, and these results appeared even without any dramatic dietary restriction applied. So what actually happens to your fat cells when you walk 30 minutes a day with real consistency? They wake up, they respond, they release, they adapt, and they become genuinely smarter over time. You are not at war with your body, and your fat cells have never been working against you. They were doing exactly what they were designed to do: protect you, store energy, and wait for instructions. When you walk consistently, you give those cells a powerful new set of instructions they understand immediately. You tell them it is safe to let go, that movement is normal, and hoarding is no longer necessary. And over time, your body listens completely. Fat cells shrink, inflammation fades, and insulin sensitivity restores itself. This is not magic, it is not a supplement, and it is not a complicated protocol requiring expensive equipment. It is biology working exactly as designed, and it works because it respects your body instead of fighting it. So lace up, step outside, and trust that every single step is doing far more than you realize.